K.M. Walton, as she's known, is a graduate of Westchester University with a degree in elementary education. As a former middle school language arts teacher, she's passionate about education and ending peer bullying. Since her novels shine a light onto the hideous effects of bullying, she gives school presentations on the topic, The Power of Human Kindness. She is represented by Jim McCarthy from Distal and Goodrich Literary Management. She lives in PA with her husband, 2 sons, cat, and a turtle. It's a good combo. Please welcome K.M. Walton.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Thanks for having me. Thank you for inviting me, and thanks for originally inviting me. This is my first novel, and it came out January of 2012, and it's young adult, and it alternates between 2 boys' points of view. One is the bully, and one is the victim, and they end up in the same psych ward in the same room. So I'm not going to read the first 2 chapters. I'm going to go a little bit in, now that you have a little bit of a background on these 2 kids. One is named Victor, and yes, he's the victim. And the other boy is named Bull, and yes, he is the bully. I named them intentionally. So this is Victor, and there might be some cursing. Not from Victor, from Bull. Just to give you a heads up. So this is Victor. My parents don't believe in physical violence. I've never been spanked or shaken or smacked. They think it's for poor people, or as my dad calls them, animals. They don't believe in affection either. I've always believed they would make excellent robots. When I was little, I used to pretend they were robots. I imagined them landing in their spaceship somewhere in the field just outside of town and stumbling upon me. In my daydream, baby me was always wrapped in blankets, tucked in a basket on the side of the road. My mother would say in perfect automaton, "Look what I found. I think it's some sort of earth baby. What should we do?" My dad would reply in his even better staccato robot voice, "We should take it. We will raise it as our own. It will teach us how to be human." My alien fantasy doesn't work though, because I have my mother's brown eyes and the rest of me definitely looks like my dad. Tall, skinny, brown hair. My dad is plain and preppy looking, and I'm plain and preppy looking thanks to him. I've never seen my parents hug or kiss or even shake hands for that matter. They just exist on our 2.5 acres in our big 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath colonial, which has granite countertops and wallpapered walls. We live separate lives in this house, in separate rooms, doing separate things, except they are always together, and I am always alone. My parents like to sit in the family room and read. My father in the unique overstuffed chair, and my mother on the $11,000 sofa. How do I know the sofa costs $11,000? When I was 12, I tried being a reader. I thought it might make my parents realize I existed, give us something to talk about together. I'd gotten a book out from the school library the day before. The house was quiet, my parents were out shopping. The perfect opportunity to dive into the book and be mentally armed, ready to regale them with my brilliance at lunch. I grabbed my book and a can of Coke from the fridge. I knew it was breaking my mother's cardinal rule. Absolutely no eating and drinking in any other room of this house except the kitchen or the dining room. She says that people are meant to eat at tables like civilized human beings, and that people who eat and drink while hunched over their coffee table are no better than rats in the sewers. I sat down on the sofa, cracked open my book, and then my soda. After 2 sips, I must have gotten lost in the story because the can slipped from my hand. Coke dribbled out in a fizzy puddle. Of course, the sofa was cream-colored, like the flesh of a pear, and Coke is brown, dark brown. My mother arrived home just as I jumped up and tried to blot the puddle with my shirt hem, which made the stain spread. My mother screamed, like I said. My parents don't use physical violence. They don't need to. They've mastered verbal violence. With enough volume to make me drop the can again, splashing more Coke on the sofa, she yelled, "What are you doing, Victor? Why are you in here with soda? Look what you've done, you monster! You monster! That sofa cost your father and I $11,000. $11,000. Do you even know how much money that is? Get out! Get out! Get out!" My mother was on the phone with the upholstery cleaners in like 2 seconds, explaining how her monster of a son got soda all over her sofa. And did they know that it was an $11,000 sofa? And how fast could they get here? And how sweet they were for coming right away? And on and on and on. They got the stains out. I don't read anymore unless I have to for school. I don't go in the living room anymore either. I stay in my room, my parents stay in their rooms. It all works out for us. They don't bug me except to ensure that my grades are, as my father calls them, top notch. He likes to say that a boy with my upbringing, my impeccable genes, my social status should have top-notch grades, no excuses, especially excuses like weakness, like sickness or a headache, or when your face gets shoved into a pile of tiny stones and you pee your pants in front of the whole second grade playground, or when that same asshole pushes you in the face in the bathroom tile and holds it there, calling you Victoria in front of the other 4 guys while you're trying to take a pee at the urinal right before your math final. No, they're just excuses for not getting top-notch grades. Excuses that show weakness. I am weak. Now you get to meet Bull. My pop is on a tear when I get home from school today. He has a pretty good load on, and his white t-shirt already has dribbles of gold down the front. Did you know when beer dries on white t-shirts, it dries light gold? I know. By the looks of the trash can, he's had almost a full case of Mountain Crest's finest. But I can always tell by his hands. If they're open, he's not drunk. If they're shut tight into fists, he's drunk. Both of his hands are clenched. You kill your grandma. My Bonnie, she never have a heart problem before you. You were born, he shouts in his slurred drunk talk. I duck to avoid getting pegged with a crushed beer can. Come on, Pop. Let's just get you to bed, I say. If I can get him to pass out before he starts swinging, I'm usually pretty good. Don't tell me what I should do. My Uncle Sammy must be out of prison again. I see that he was here today. The kitchen table is covered in various weed paraphernalia. My pop doesn't do drugs. My mom doesn't either. I frequently question why I don't. What did Uncle Sammy want, Pop? I ask, hoping to get him to unclench his fists and climb into bed. No luck. Just saying Uncle Sammy's name is enough to make him snap. Pop flies out of his chair and is on me before I have time to cover my face. Don't you ask me about Sam. Don't you ask me nothing, you moron. You ruined my life, he growls. Each word is delivered with a matching punch. My pop is really good at making words hurt, bruise, and bleed. He eventually collapses in a heap and I leave him there, passed out, and I stumble to the bathroom to check out the damage. Not too bad. Most of his punches landed on my body, but he did manage to split my left cheek, which means questions from adults at school. I yell at myself for not covering my head, and I punch the bathroom sink with self-hatred. I look at my reflection, and I give myself the business. You're so stupid. You're a freaking idiot. You're a fucking asshole idiot. I'm supposed to be at work in 20 minutes. I find a Band-Aid in the medicine cabinet, and I get my story straight. BMX crash. Tried to jump a curb. Kid got in my way, did a face plant. Blood has dripped onto my t-shirt, so I ripped through the closet looking for a clean one. It's piled about waist high with bags of shit, mostly from Salvi, but some of those bags have my clothes in them. My mom usually takes a trash bag full of clothes to the laundromat whenever she has enough change to get a load through the washer and dryer. That's about once every 2 weeks, sometimes longer. Depends on if there's any leftover money after beer and cigarettes. The woman has her priorities. Still, no clean laundry bag. Half the junk is now piled outside the closet. I pull a brown paper grocery bag that's rolled shut. Did you ever see a brown paper bag that's been rolled and re-rolled so many times it gets all soft and actually stays rolled shut? This bag stays rolled shut until I open it. Inside there's a black gun. I don't know anything about guns, other than the stuff I've seen on TV and in the movies. I don't know what kind of gun it is, I just know it's a gun and it's real. I can tell by how heavy it feels in my hand. Pop grunts on the floor behind me. I jump, drop the gun back into the paper bag, and close it. He's still passed out. I stuff the bags of clothes back into the closet. I have a problem. Where should I put the brown bag? I don't have a place of my own, no bedroom, no closet, no dresser. I have a sofa that smells like a urinal, and that's it. I run my hand over my head and scope out my mom's room. She's got a dresser and a bed. That's it for her room. I turn around and look in Pop's room. Twin bed, nightstand, and a bag of my dead grandmother's clothes. That's it for his room. The bag of clean laundry is in there, though. It's sitting on his bed. He must have forgotten to put it back in the closet, and he calls me a moron. But I'm a moron with a gun now.